Uh,
Biggest crowd, and then they show empty space, and they show Barack Hussein Obama's crowd. And I said, wait a minute. I think the word we used was audience, and it included all of the new things, all of the different things that we have coming out. Every week there's a new form of information coming out. So I think we had the largest audience anywhere in the world. But they showed this field. And when I was speaking, it was full. But when they showed the field, it was all empty. I said, wait a minute, I was speaking, it was full. Well, they took the pictures about 5 or 6 hours early. They had everything roped off. And I said to my people, we ought to sort of bring that up every once in a while. Oh, sir, nobody cares about it. I care about it. I care about it. No, they took the pictures way early. And when I was speaking, I'm looking at this thing all the way back. It was so beautiful. And then all of a sudden, we made the statement, I guess the largest audience, and I think it was the largest audience. And we suffered. That was the first week. This was just the beginning. This was just the beginning. But when I was speaking, it was packed, just like this place is packed. Look at that, into the hangar. It's a lot of people. But I had it again, too. I had a guy, I think his name was Weigel, from the Washington Post. He goes to an arena, and all of the arenas were packed. Now we're doing outdoor because of COVID, sometimes referred to as the China virus, right? Which I think is a far more accurate word. I mean, you could also use the Corona word, but that sounds like a beautiful town in Italy. It's not fair. No, this is the China plague or the China virus. That's where it came from. We have to be accurate. And we were really doing well against China. We still are, by the way, but we were doing so well. Hey, do you remember that for 10 years, you heard China was going to supplant us in 2019, right? 2019, they were going to be bigger than us, their economy. Well, that didn't work out too well for them. We were beating them by leaps and bounds, and then we got hit with the plague. No sooner had the ink dried on a great China deal. We made a wonderful deal. It was great. In fact, they ordered the largest amount 2 weeks ago of corn, soybeans, and beef, cattle, beef that we've ever had because they want to keep me happy because they know I'm not satisfied. This is no good what happened. This is no good what they did to us. No good. The ink hadn't even dried on our trade deal with China. Wonderful deal. And this happened. This should have been stopped at China. They should have been able to stop it. They stopped it from going into the rest of China, but they didn't stop it from going into Europe, the United States, and the rest of the world, right? We're going to find out why, too. But the American people are with me, so I stand alone. And I said to these people, I apologize. You mind if I said I instead of we? Because it is a group of very loyal people. I said, plays much better when I say I. But we do have a great group of people. But we do. We're standing sort of alone against all of these people. I saw Adam Schiff, this guy, the watermelon head. I say, no, he's like a watermelon head. No dummy, no dummy. And he doesn't believe it. But he said the other day about Biden with the laptop from hell. We call it the laptop. He said, and he goes up before the mic. This is Adam Shifty Schiff. This was caused by Russia. Russia caused this. They created this disinformation, he said. He should be, honestly, that guy should be locked up. And because he's in Congress. Oh, it's true. Because remember when he said, I had this perfect phone call with the president of Ukraine. I'm the only one that could get impeached over a phone call that was perfect. Remember Shifty Schiff got up and he started repeating it 8 times, quid pro quo, and you will this, and you will that, and you will listen. Fortunately, we had beautiful transcribers that transcribed the call. Can you imagine if we didn't have? It would have been my word against Shifty Schiff and all of the horrible human beings over there. They died when they found out we had a transcription, remember? They wanted to know, how do we get out of this one? So we had to beat that one off, too. But that was a little bit lucky Thank you to your wonderful transcribers. You did a great job. But you know, this is what we're dealing. We're dealing with some tough people and evil people. Somebody said, President, a friend of mine from New York, very successful guy, big builder, said, President, President. You know, they don't call me Donald anymore. I lost all my friends because everybody, they call me up. They say, oh, it's the president, and is the president. I pick up. Hey, Richard, how you doing, Rich? Hey, he goes, Mr. President, sir, how are you? He used to say, hey, Don, how about going out to dinner tonight? It's true. I lost all my friends because they all respect the office. Forget about it. They respect the office of the president. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And he'll call me up. He'll say, Mr. President, sir, I've known this guy for so many years. I don't say exactly how many, but too many. Many. Let's put it this way. Many more than 30. So I say, Richard, loosen up. Loosen up. Yes, sir. I said, call me Donald. Yes, sir. Okay. So we're going on, and I say, how's everything going? How's New York? I miss it. It's going to hell with this crazy mayor and this crazy governor we have. Crime is through the roof. Crime in New York is through the roof. And it all happened since I left. I mean, maybe I should take credit for that we did a good job. No, but it's very sad what happened. I said, how's it going? We talked. And then he ended by saying, Mr. President, sir, thank you very much. I said, Richard, you don't have to thank me for speaking to me. And it's one of those things. But they have respect for the office, right? They have respect for the office. And we have to have more respect for our country. When somebody gets up before the halls of Congress, in the halls, so when Schiff gave this phony speech about my conversation, he was quoting my conversation. He didn't know we had it transcribed. And normally I wouldn't do that. We actually called up Ukraine. We said, do you mind if we release it? They said, no, they didn't understand why, but they were nice. You know, they were very nice. I said, do you mind? No. We had our Secretary of State call, actually. Do you mind? Because it would be nice to let them know we're going to release it, right? It would be very nice. And what happens is it was totally different. And I said, oh, we're going to sue him and we're going to do things to him because he lied in the halls of Congress. And they told me, you know what they told me? No, sir, I'm sorry. He has total immunity. He can say anything he wants in the halls. Sure. And I thought to myself, isn't that crazy? It should be the exact opposite. You should be mandated to be more honest in the halls of Congress, not where you have immunity to say anything you want. Oh, did they die? Did crazy Nancy go crazy when she heard that we had a transcript? She looked at her people. She said, what the hell is this? This is not impeachable. They say, you're right, but we're so far down the road. Let's go for it anyway. This is what we're dealing with. And we won. It's good to win, though, I have to tell you. Winning is great Republican support. We had great Republican support. In the House, it was 196 or so to nothing. And we got a Democrat and a half. Van Drew, good guy, running for office, going to do very well. Jeff, he's going to do very well. He came over, he said, this is so corrupt, I'm going to become a Republican. And he's going to do great. But it really is, think of it, when you're in the halls of Congress, you should be more honest instead of where you can say anything you want. And that's probably, maybe we should go for it. Let's go for a little change. The radical Biden-Harris agenda is projected to slash the typical American home income by at least $6,500 per year. Think of that. They'll raise your taxes by Biden's going to raise your taxes. We could go $4 trillion. Everyone says, what does that mean? You know what it means? It means a lot. They're going to raise your taxes by $4 trillion, triggering a mass exodus of jobs out of America into foreign countries. You know how many jobs I brought in? I brought in jobs that were just stifled because our taxes were so crazy. The Biden tax hikes will wipe out up to another quarter of the small business income and 25% of all U.S. investment. Your stocks, your 401ks and pensions will be demolished. You'll go into a depression, the likes of which you haven't seen since 1929. That's what's going to happen. He's going to raise your taxes. He's going to put all the regulations back on. I'm sure he'll join the wonderful Paris Accord. How's it working out for France? I don't think so, right? No, it takes away our wealth. It was meant to take away our wealth. Somebody will come in someday and they'll say, isn't that wonderful? Our air is cleaner than all of them. We just had our best numbers environmentally. the cleanest, the best, without spending fortunes. And it's rigged for China and Russia and India and all these other countries, and it's really bad for us. And everybody said, you know, when I did that, when I got out of the Paris Climate Accord, okay, they call it the Paris. When I got out, such a beautiful name, right? When I got out, the people understood it immediately. I said, this is a tough one. I'm going to get killed in this one. That's okay. Close your eyes, sign it, boom. But the people got it right away. They're taking your wealth away. They don't want oil. They don't want petroleum. They don't want, you know why? Because they don't have it, and because we do. We are the #1 in the world right now, and they want to take it away. Biden's plan will destroy 5 million jobs, eliminate $2.6 trillion in wealth, and hurt lower and middle-income families the most of all. I will deliver optimism, opportunity, and hope. Biden will deliver pessimism, poverty, and decline. For the last 47 years, Joe Biden has been outsourcing your job, opening your borders. Oh, by the way, our border is closed. That's why you never hear about it. You ever notice you don't hear about that? You don't hear about our vets anymore because we take such good. Remember, every night you'd hear about vets. Before me, 91% approval rating with our vets. Our vets voted 91%. We never had anything like it. And sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless foreign wars in countries that you've never even heard of. And they're all coming back. You know that, right? I mean, I hope nobody objects. I think 19 years in Afghanistan is enough, wouldn't you say? We're like a police force over there. We have the greatest soldiers in the world, but over there, we're like a police force. 19 years is enough. You think it's easy getting out with all the military-industrial complex, right? Dwight Eisenhower, the military, beware the military-industrial complex. They're right, but we're all coming home. They're all coming home. In 2016, North Carolina voted to fire this depraved political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who is finally putting America first. Joe Biden, as you've been reading for the last 4 weeks, although it's hard to find because they shut it down, you've learned how corrupt the press is more than what I've been saying for 4 years. I've known it. I've said it, but I don't know how many people believed it. You see how corrupt they are when the New York Times and the Washington Post and all of these other, they don't even write about a man who is a totally corrupt politician. He's a corrupt politician. In addition, he let communist China plunder your jobs while his family raked in millions from China and foreign nations. Think of it. How about Russia? How about Russia? $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife. 3.5. Oh, I see. What did you do for that? There's a lot. That's like one of the smaller hits. He was like a vacuum cleaner. You know, they go into a country. It was like having a vacuum cleaner. Just suck it all in. And if you mention it, and I have great respect for the New York Post. The New York Post, 4th largest newspaper, the oldest. But the New York Post, what they've done is incredible. But you know, the big tech, they put you out. Twitter, they take you out. Charlie Kirk, so many people, they take them out. They take them out. They say, we're not going to stand for this. If you call them corrupt, they'll say, we're not going to stand, because that's where they're coming from. Think of what's happening. Nobody thought, does everyone know what I'm talking about? Nobody thought it was even possible. And the newspaper, our news, you know, all the news that's fit to print. Actually, it's all the news that's not fit to print because they don't want to print it. They don't want to put it in. I mean, it is disgraceful. We talk about freedom of the press. This is the exact opposite of freedom of the press. They don't want to put the word out. And even me, I make a speech like this, they'll turn off. Look, I'll bet you the cameras turn off because they don't want it. Nobody, even me, I'm the big cynic of the world. I never thought this was possible. His so-called Biden Center at the University of Pennsylvania has already received $70 million from China. 70 million. That can't be possible. Is that possible? Explosive emails from Hunter Biden also show that Hunter was negotiating with a Chinese firm tied to the Communist China Party to receive $10 million a year 4 introductions. Well, that sounds reasonable. I think you'd do that. I think I'd even do it. 10 million to introduce. Hey, I'd like to introduce it. Send me the 10 million. Another email referenced 10% held by Hunter for the big guy. I wonder who the big guy was. The big guy. He doesn't look so big to me. He doesn't look so big when he walks on the stage. He's not looking too strong. Fragile, very fragile. But the big guy, they call him the big guy. One document shows a plan to take money from Chinese state-owned enterprises. I'll tell you what, this laptop is a disaster for them. How the hell did he ever let go of this sucker? You know? He put it to he got to have it fixed. I guess he forgot to pick it up. What the hell? And then Schiff, that's where he bled. He said, it's Russia did it. It's Russia. Russia. Oh, Russia. They probably think we are the wackiest people. He said, what do we do now? We created a laptop for Hunter Biden with pictures and all. This is a matter of national security. The Bidens got rich while North Carolina and our country got robbed, okay? If Biden wins, China will own the United States. Will own it. The media and the big tech are desperately trying to cover up this massive scandal. I'm not just running against Sleepy Joe Biden. I'm running against the corrupt media. They're corrupt. The corrupt media, the big tech giants, and I'm running against the Washington swamp. It's time to send a message to these wealthy liberal hypocrites by delivering Joe Biden a thundering defeat on November 3rd. That's a lot of people. This is a big crowd. By the way, this is a big crowd. You should have seen the people on the road. They couldn't get in. You know, as big as this crowd is, tens of thousands of people on the roads coming up, they couldn't get in. Couldn't get in. They said, how big is your arena? I said, I don't know. We have a big field. Oh, good. I said, it's sold out. How do you sell out a field? Huh? They said, sir, I'm sorry. We can't let anyone else in. The police, they're great, by the way. I said, officer, we have 10,000 people out there, much more than that, all the way down. He said, I'm sorry, sir. I said, it's a field. Just let's open it up. Let's move the trucks back, the buses, everything. They said, sir, we have a problem. What? Stampede. I said, stampede. He said, we got so many people, we're worried about it. I thought that was for cattle, right? He said, stampede. Now, can you imagine? Now, Joe doesn't have that problem. He has about 4 or 5 circles. They can't fill them up. But I love the people. The only thing I like about him is the person that does the circles after this is all over. No, they do a beautiful job. Nice wide, beautiful, everything. You know, I'm a perfectionist. It's beautiful, those circles. They're very far away from each other. You couldn't catch COVID in those circles no matter what you did. So if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. The only thing we do to make them totally crazy is we say 12 more years because of traffic. Right? Then they say, see, he is a fascist. Oh, they've covered me. They've covered me every way. They've said, he is so stupid. Then they say, he's not really smart. Then they say, he's trying to take over the entire country. Then they say, no. He's a super genius. He's more brilliant than ever, greatest ever. He's trying to take over the entire world. So I go from not being smart to being the smartest person in history, but evil. Someday they're going to say, you know what, he was a smart guy, ran a great country. Okay, that's what we want. It's this country. It's this country. No, they've called me everything in the book. They've called me names that you wouldn't believe. And we just keep going along, right? Because nobody's been able to do what we've done in the first 3.5 years. Nobody even close. Nobody. So if I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you harder than anybody has ever fought for you before. Nobody's ever fought for you. You think this is easy? All these women, 61. This is number 61 times. These incredible women right here. They're rich as hell. I said to them, I saw them 2 weeks ago. I said, also in North Carolina, but a long ways away from here, right? It's a big state. But I saw them 2 weeks ago. I said, how many times have you been here? They said 60 at the time. I said, it's because I've seen them. I said, do your husbands have a problem with that? I think your husbands are with you tonight. Stand up, husbands, please. Stand up. Look at these guys. Handsome, very handsome, good-looking guys. How about the women standing up? Would you stand up, please? Look at that. Great people. These are great people. These are great Americans. These are really great American people. These are great American people that we love. One of the most important issues in this election is the safety of the American family. The Biden-Harris war on police would be a catastrophe for our nation. Just look at what the left has done in Democrat-run Chicago, Portland, New York City, Oakland, name any, Baltimore. Did you hear what happened? You know, Obama's now campaigning. Even though he refused to support Biden, I mean, he never, and then even after Biden sort of semi-won, he wouldn't do it. It took forever. But now he's campaigning for him. And somebody said, sir, maybe this isn't good. What's wrong? President Obama's campaigning for Sleepy Joe Biden. And I said, that's good news or bad news? Tell me, are you saying it's good or it's bad? Well, I guess it's bad. No, it's good. There was nobody that campaigned harder for crooked Hillary Clinton than Obama, right? He was all over the place. He said he will not be our president. But before that, he said, he will not run. He didn't know me. Then I ran. Then he said, he will not get the nomination. Then I got the nomination. Then he said, he will not be our president. Then I won. I think the only one more unhappy than crooked Hillary that night was Barack Hussein Obama. The only one. Barack Hussein Obama. You know, when I say that name, I think of a man who is an incredible man, who's having difficulty, but there's nobody more brave. And he would talk a lot about Barack Obama. He would talk about Obama all the time. I wouldn't say in the most positive way, but with respect. Rush Limbaugh, he's great. Rush Limbaugh. And you talk about a fighter, he's frightened. He is a fighter. You never saw a fighter like Rush. And he got the presidential, you know, he got our greatest award. He got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest and the Congressional Medal of Honor. And it was a great evening, and it was a fantastic wife and family. But Rush is having a hard time, and I will tell you something. He is something special. Try talking for years and years, biggest audience in radio history. Try talking for 3 hours without phone calls, without, you know, it's easy. Pick up a phone. Hey, how you doing on Social Security? He would just talk and talk and talk. Biggest audience ever. Sean Hannity thinks one of the greats ever in anything, one of the greats. Mark Levin, Laura. Tucker's been getting better and better all the time, right? Getting better all the time. The great Lou Dobbs, right? Great Lou Dobbs. Lou Dobbs has been great. Lou Dobbs has been great. No, we have a lot of great people, and we're getting more and more. It's very interesting, getting more. But I just want to pay my absolute respect. He's in there fighting, and I'll tell you what, nobody can do it like him. Rush Limbaugh, okay? Biden and Harris's anti-police rhetoric is inciting riots and putting our police in grave danger. You know, I watched this guy today, and he's talking about how it was so calm. Well, it wasn't calm. Ferguson, St. Louis, Baltimore, right? Oakland. They had things going on that were worse. I mean, you look at Baltimore. Remember that whole mess? But now it's like, oh, they were so wonderful. And then you look at the H1N1 that Joe calls the opposite, the swine flu. You look at that and you say, well, wait a minute, that was handled so badly. And the person that was running his whole thing said,
a steady person, pretty much on
and then they criticized
Carson, the Tonight Show with Johnny.
Soon enough, but he was 2 months late.
Yeah, I should go and look at that interview and play some of her voice, because if he heard her talk, he'd know who we were talking about. Because I mean, her accent and the way she presented herself when she was speaking, a very sunny and funny disposition. She was hilarious, and she played the sexy girl or the straight guy to a lot of jokes, but she cracked her share of jokes too.
They don't. They want
Nostrovia, spokojna. If nobody minds, I'll go and find her voice so I can play it for Bud.
Biden is also pledging mass amnesty and free federal health care for illegal aliens. And we all have a heart. It will obliterate Medicare and Social Security with that. But we all have a heart.
With Spokojna, Spokojna is an executive just to wear high heels now. She's going to have to wear high heels.
Free health care, free education.
All kinds of shit.
I always say for them, it drives them crazy. Everybody gets a free Rolls Royce, and then they say, I am misrepresented. They don't get a Rolls Royce. But think of it.
Yeah.
Free health care.
And
I'll always protect.
Yeah.
I will always protect your Medicare and your Social Security. It will never be protected again.
Spokojna, do you know what caused?
And I'm also proud
got drunk and came in here
that here in North Carolina, your Medicare Advantage premiums have decreased because of good management by over 44% since I took office. Wait to hear that.
This girl, she's kind of a...
You don't hear that too often. On health care, we're providing American families with affordable, high-quality, personalized
chat with her. Wasn't me.
Somewhere in the Bible, kids of life, I will find my answer. Innocent tonight, don't try to stop you. That's what I'm coming to. I am sure of nothing. Gotta find my feet somehow. Just get up and dance. I am sure of nothing. I need to dance. Gotta find my feet somehow. I am sure of nothing. Just the world wide over, but it's so hard to find. But what I want to love me, here all the time. I'm somewhere in the Bible, since I'm alive. I will find my answer. Anything tonight.
You could post it. And
I need to take this chance. Gotta find my feet somehow. Just I am sure of nothing. I need to take this chance. Gotta find my feet somehow.
And you don't gotta worry about anything else. Fuck it. You think that's fucking fun? No, it's
Two
not
drunk
fun.
bastards going at it.
Yeah. fuck myself, and I'm gonna take care of myself.
The same antibody
what does that
treatment
mean?
that I received available to anybody that needs it.
Stupid.
Signing what's called emergency use declaration.
No, you should wear gloves and listen. You should wear the mask and the gloves when you fuck yourself. Yes, and use hand sanitizer with you.
Hell no,
When you
man.
wanna fuck yourself. Yes.
I need to wash my
Yes,
hands.
rubbing alcohol. Yes, yes. Fuck yourself good.
And like, I gotta look at myself in the face and, ooh, yeah, baby.
And we got right
Yeah,
to
whatever.
down, and that's where
Get out of here early. That
Irish is
bullshit.
gonna fuck himself too.
And they couldn't do it because they
You
said,
don't know the way.
supposing they die, they're gonna die anyway. And we got, but still not.
A doodah, motherfucker.
Had very deep problems.
A doodah.
What do you say?
Because the country doesn't want to get sued by everybody if it doesn't work out.
Harley.
And so I have them.
We can't hear you, honey. You gotta turn your shit up.
Dorky. You know the way?
I don't know the way. No, not today. Don't know the way.
Okay, then follow me. Hold my finger. Pull it.
You know what's happened? We have had more.
I'd not pull the finger. I remember what happened the last time. Woo.
It's really incredible. They're great things. That's one
It
of
was
so
good
many things
aroma.
we've done. We have done so many
You loved it.
I could go on all night about the things we've done, but you'd start saying, well, you know, he's done a great job, but let's get the hell out of here, Harry.
You're breaking up with Saxon?
Are you breaking up with me? I think it's cool now. I fixed it.
Can't hear you.
Hello, Darkashik. Hear me now? Hello? Do you hear me now? What the fuck sound?
No one is. Hello?
Hello? Do you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes, of course. Because they are close to death. They cannot hear you. These guys are close to death. They are in retreating. They are very retreating.
They're sitting on the bomb. They have a bomb. They're going to blow up soon.
You don't need more explanation. You don't need more explanation than that.
Inside your moonshine, yeah?
Yeah. Heard of that.
Of their illness, they become ill, they become weak, Alzheimer's, etc. That's the sign, the premise of death. That's their premise of their death. What you're hearing, that's
What are you on about, Missy?
As usual, nothing. Which is repeating itself.
when I come, when I go, when I come to the, when I go,
That's you.
Oh no, it's you.
Repeating.
You're right.
I moved it really fast, didn't I?
World Series playing tonight? You know what the World Series is going on.
Oh, Dorothy, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Keisha?
I guess I'm doing best then.
I guess.
Where are you gonna watch it? You're watching World Series? The Times of May?
No, I'm not watching it. Who said it earlier? Someone said they were watching Toronto's I just said he was getting ready to watch it. And I said, no. I didn't know what was going on.
If you don't know what the hell you're talking about, don't talk about it. No one
I'm on chat, so I can talk about what you want to talk about. Boy, I know you're busy. Yeah.
Shut up.
Why don't you tell some hanky panky?
They're calling you in Dave Buckeye's room, Keystone. Oh, I'm in chat 0. They're calling you in chat 0. They're calling you in chat 0. Hey.
Oh, look, there's Sammy.
Shit, wetback. No repeating other rooms, names in here, you fucking wetback.
You my people, bro. You right here. You right here. All day.
Where's Richmond?
What's up, E? How are you, man? What's up? How you living?
I've been fighting with my Kindle to re-download the book. That's the software. That's up.
There's Bowman.
I'm getting my Dorothy, I'm getting my remembrance altar ready for the campaign. If you want me to have anyone do it, I'll have someone honoring your family's name to help them cross over.
Pinky, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, guys. I'm going to the gym.
Hey guys, I don't care.
I'm good. Excited.
Frankie. Well, have a good workout. Wish you the best. Make sure you use a spotter.
Spotter.
Don't spotter, guys. Don't spotter. What's going on, dude? I just got a new gig.
Spotters, man. It ain't free weights.
Like a fishing gear?
No, you don't need spotters.
Transportation gig.
What type of
Got a
gym
new
has
gig.
free weights?
They want me to pick up some samples from the laboratory and bring it back home. I just found out today. I got a voicemail and I called her.
Hey guys, they called that pick up some fucking COVID-19 files. Is that what it is?
No, they're water samples.
From the sewer? COVID in it, right?
I don't know. They're in a little cubicle, little package. They're packaged up. I won't see them. I just picked up the package.
Yeah, you can't even keep a gold pistol.
Nigga, you need a hazmat suit and a fucking mask. One of those fucking hazmats.
I got a full face respirator. I got my TWIC card and my hazmat. I do got my hazmat endorsement in my TWIC.
Hamming up or shit?
Y'all motherfuckers talking shit. Y'all motherfuckers talking shit. We're talking COVID-19, bro. But it has nothing to do with COVID. You're all full of COVID, bro. I know.
You're all victims. You're all victims. You need to pray to God. What? Mustard gas, yeah. Mar acid. That smells awful. Should use that. Zabagabazet.
English.
Right now it's only 2 trips, but it could become more.
Hey, what? and everybody else. Said that nobody gives a fuck. They're all fucking retards.
Wait, there is 60 seconds. Okay, it's over. 60 seconds over for you, please, guys. It's over.
Thank you, Messi. Thank you, Messi.
But I can charge you any way I want. Fucking give me a fucking vehicle.
Would you two just kiss and get along?
Coming at me and then shut the and then
Let's go back on it, Gordon.
stupid fuck.
Yeah. Check on this.
We'll all be one happy man.
So Dorky Chick, why aren't you on webcam?
Why what?
Why aren't you on webcam?
On webcam? Because you know what happens when you get on webcam? All these trolls all of a sudden start talking shit. And I don't have time for that. Like, oh my god, you have a mole on your face. Oh my god, your hair's not perfect. Oh my god, this, that, and the
I would never.
Yeah.
I don't know why people hate on moles. A mole is represented as a beauty mark. As a beauty mark, it means you're beautiful. That's all it means. Why do people talk shit about moles?
I don't talk shit about anybody, no matter what. Looks can be taken away from you in a heartbeat.
Well, I gotta see this mole now. Get on me, right?
I am not alive.
Hey, you want me to prove this one too? That you are lying right now? Keystone. Because I proved the last one you said.
Keystone, you better
Prove it again. Apply the same technique that you went on. I'm not kidding.
Why is chat always a competition?
No, listen.
Why is everybody always trying to outdo everybody? Why do y'all always try to outdo? What have I lost to? I've lost?
So many that you lost count.
I don't recall. I never lose because you either win or you learn. There's no such thing as losing in my book.
It never happened either way for you. You just lose.
You don't gotta talk so much shit.
You either win or you learn.
Why you don't gotta talk so much shit? Why can't y'all just be chilling and just love each other, man?
Exactly, right, bro? We need love and affection.
I mean, y'all motherfuckers meet all day, every day, same motherfucking age, all the time, but y'all wanna fight.
I have grown up.
I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight anybody.
Put him up. Yeah. Put him up.
I never learned from my mistakes. And I come back better and stronger.
Your speed is very slow at the moment.
Well, I'm very relaxed. I'm a very relaxed, chilled,
You're like 10 miles per hour. You're trying to merge the freeway at 10 miles per hour.
I'm not one of them.
I didn't know we were on a freeway. I thought we were on
This
computers.
is a freeway, motherfucker. What else is it? It's not a fucking alley.
Harley, we're going to respect, okay? I don't feel bad for anymore. I like to take my time and enjoy life. There's no need to go 100 miles an hour in the chat.
No, man. Just go the speed limit, dickhead.
I didn't realize there was a national chat speed limit.
Don't be
What
so
speed
slow,
is that?
motherfucker. That's what I'm doing.
What speed should I be at in
And
chat?
you're slowing everything down, pendejo.
Well, that's what they did in the NFL. That's why it's moving so slow. Everything slows down.
No, man. You don't have to.
Well, tell that to Roger Goodell.
I don't like football, so I have nothing to do with that. Fuck that.
I don't think you're very athletic.
Fuck that shit. Yeah. Harley's definitely not.
Very athletic watching football and betting on it, right? That's really athletic, motherfucker.
Kelly just this because the Dallas Cowboys suck.
Hey, Kelly, Kelly,
What do you
leave the
mean?
door
My
open when
Cowboys
you go
are
to
in
bed
first
tonight.
place,
The squirrel and I
and
are
they
coming
after they got their ass whooped. I don't see how you can think I'm pissed.
Yeah, you got the first place by tomorrow night because the Eagles will beat the Giants, so fuck off.
That's not true because the Eagles just lost two of their key starters, flipping Earth, and the Giants beat the Redskins. Nobody thought the Redskins would lose to the Giants, so the Giants very well can beat the Eagles. It's a division rivalry, so anything can go.
No shit. No fucking
So anything can go. So don't tell me the Eagles are going to beat the Giants.
Don't yell.
Well, you guys are going to lose to Washington.
It's not a guarantee that we're going to lose to Washington. It's the NFC East, the weakest division in the NFL. It could go either way. Washington and Dallas is one of the biggest rivalries in the history of NFL.
You obviously haven't seen how bad Andy Dalton fucking played on Monday night. Did you see Andy Dalton play?
The entire NFC East is playing like shit. Oh my god. The Redskins ain't much better. We're talking apples to oranges right here, buddy. This is apples to oranges. It could go either way.
Well, any game can go either way. They don't get known after do their job.
You're not very good. You're not very good at arguing and persuading those things.
Well, actually, we had the worst division in football. I'll be the first champion. The NFC is the worst division in football.
Why are you repeating everything I'm saying now? You better behave, Richie. Mr. Eagle. You better hope you don't lose to the Giants. Because y'all gonna be in a world. Because if we beat Washington,
we're not losing to that fucking Giants. Are you fucking? Come, we're not gonna lose to them. I put 14 points on the Eagles are gonna pick them apart. And no, we won't win it. We should have been great.
Why don't you go look at the real?
We should have been home. We came back and then we lost the ball by 2 points. We should have beat them.
Should have, would have had a chance, but you didn't. That doesn't matter anymore.
No, well, the guy dropped a wide open touchdown pass in the fucking end zone.
Oh, wow.
We should have passed the ball on the last play of the 2-point conversion. A coach is a fucking idiot for that fucking.
If the Cowboys had better players, they'd probably be undefeated.
Fuck you, Tigger.
Well, your defense fucking sucks, dude. Just saying. You have no fucking defense.
No shit, Sherlock.
Real out here, man. Y'all tripping. It's real out here, man.
Yeah, and also Andy Dalton's fucking done. You guys could have signed fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick. Do something. Fucking Fitzmagic just lost his starter job to Tua from Miami. So you guys better sign him.
You want to go from one washed up quarterback to another quarterback? The washed up one? Great, thanks.
Well, at least Fitzmagic was winning football games. At least Fitzmagic was winning football games. He's really, really, really underrated. He still has it.
He has a better line and a better team. I don't know why they benched him. The only reason why they benched him is because they put in Tua at the end of the game, and they like what he saw. They're ready to go with the future. They know Fitzpatrick is not the future.
Russell's the best quarterback in the NFL. Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in the NFL.
He might be. When you get rid of Roethlisberger,
No one can argue that fact. James, why do you yell so much? It's getting annoying.
Wilson's better than Mahomes. Yes.
I don't know. That would be good to see. I would like to see that in the Super Bowl. Mahomes and Wilson.
Russell Wilson's best quarterback in the NFL.
I'm gonna ride with Mahomes because he's a Texas boy.
Doesn't matter who has the better arm. The arm doesn't really matter. Who makes the better decision, who's going to win the game in the carts. Wilson's a better quarterback than Mahomes. Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFL. Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFL.
It'd be a good game. It'd be a shootout.
Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFL.
You better stop before you get dotted.
I don't care. I don't care if I get dotted. Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
You made your point.
All right.
Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Say it again. They heard you the first time.
Hey, make sure y'all got this, okay? Tomorrow.
And
Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFL.
See, he's got it. He knows. Gold star for you.
I'll believe you, Richie, if you get it tattooed on your arm.
No, on your butt.
Russell Wilson is the best QB in the NFL with a picture of Russell Wilson.
Well,
Two thumbs
I'm
up.
not gonna sit there and I'm not gonna disagree with you. Those very good quarterbacks, but I do disagree with you. But I'm not gonna tell you who I think is the best quarterback. And you don't even know that person.
Russell Wilson's best in the NFL.
Okay, so I don't understand what is like the attachment to football team? Like what makes you especially if you go to college there or
I don't like to see all idolize masculinity and best quarterback in the NFL.
Sense they failed as men.
and they like to have a sense of belonging.
I rebuke that comment. I don't understand it. The reason why I'm a Dallas.
I don't like to see all best quarterback in the NFL.
The reason I like the Cowboys is because that's what I grew up to know. That's all I know.
Grew up with Cowboys.
I told him he likes the Cowboys. Therefore, he likes the Cowboys. Only the barefoot ones.
Aw, not the chaps.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. You know, you always think that has to be true, but they had a lot of up and down. You don't fuck around.
Chaps, man, they're just pants.
I don't give
Leather
a fuck.
pants.
That's a true thing.
There is nothing wrong with a chapless man. He looks good out on the dance floor when he's shooting them.
Do you know what I did though? So I made myself a mask with the Dallas Cowboys on it. Now we have to go and
Bullshit.
Ha 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 ha. Very funny.
No, when you're in Dallas, if there's a tornado coming through, you go up to the Dallas Stadium because there's no chance of a touchdown.
I like Dragon Ball.
See, you're on it, bro.
Ignorant.
Got this shit down by a science and shit.
No, that was pretty witty. I'm sure it was horrible.
Well, you don't have a Facebook. You have Facebook.
The delivery was nice.
I love pig myself. In fact, I'm probably gonna shoot one.
Now, what is this guy talking about the rabbit? I mean, is this guy a drug addict?
Yes, everybody on here is a drug addict.
30 31.47. They're gonna franchise it.
I was banging 7-gram rocks. I got tiger blood, bro.
Tiger blood. I do. Amazing. You look like the mean.
Hashtag
Yeah,
winning.
You like the mean. That man.
I once got punched in the stomach virtually for doing a Charlie Sheen thing.
Hey guys, Owen lost his lighter.
No, they do you that damn favor.
I just don't understand.
Y'all want to see her thing for her lighter? Hey guys,
Oh no, I thought we were.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's best
We want to see that Joel.
I got your back. I just need you to know I got your back when it goes down.
Yeah, don't get so close to the headback. See, I don't trust you. About you.
You don't trust me. That's why I call you out. That's why you're not my people.
call him out. Do it.
Back off.
But he's not my people.
Kelly, what he got?
Why am I going to do anything if he's not my people? I don't know that man like that. All I know is I know. Look, I know you. I got you.
It's a new day for me.
He's got your back too.
Yeah, because I'm good at people.
I'm
not some weirdo, two-faced, some people-pleasing ass bitch, you know?
What do you got in the jar, Kelly?
That's good shit. That's
What
real good.
does that mean, Kelly? Show me what
That
you got
old
in the
smoky
jar.
pickle shit.
Yeah.
You disgust me, lady.
No, that's my people, man.
That's a party girl.
Shit on my people, man. Don't be talking shit on my people, man.
Shut up, little bitch.
Yeah, I know my jars. Okay.
I be wanting me some pickle kisses right there.
Kelly, I got blue balls.
Kelly, drink some of that pickle juice.
Oh God. That's not
Drink
pickle
some.
juice.
You have never had pickle juice? Wow.
That's not pickle juice.
Moonshine pickle.
There it is.
She fixing to get crack right.
This is good for you. Electrolytes.
It's got electrolytes. Yeah, lots of electrolytes.
Yep. Computer and a bug in a rug.
I said corn liquor with a kick, by God.
Is that your
That's
number?
good.
443?
So
That's that
Up in a 6-7 in a bowl of water on a rainy day in a humid climate.
It was like that. Apple pie or cherry.
Yeah, that apple pie has too much cinnamon in that shit.
You know, juices, see that juices are really not different. Nah, not that, but they're terrible.
I mean, it's full of salt. Yes, I agree, but it's too much of
Why
everything.
are you talking about juice being bad for you when you are an alcoholic?
It is bad for you. Kelly, I'll be up on you like a rat on a mosquito.
It's not bad for you if you're diabetic. Bad for you if you have high blood pressure. That's bad.
Bad for your sugars because it's full of sugar.
There's no sugar in pickles.
Which every one of you sons of bitches is overweight, goddammit. How y'all gonna be giving somebody else nutrition advice?
Kelly, don't you want to get double-ended by two hot male strippers?
And so, consider yourself a male stripper.
Oh yeah, sexy.
He's a male and he strips. Technically, he's got two things down there to mix up.
Only if Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man had a fucking dancing pole.
The male titty dancer. Yeah, whatever, haters.
I believe in you, Undercover. He just has big dreams, you know? And honestly, it's inspiring. Get up on that pole. I'm in love with the stripper.
That's real music, black music. Black music.
Hey, you don't like this music? Why not?
Like niggas.
Why? You used to hang out with Wakanda every single day. Remember when you hung out with Wakanda every single day?
I was fucking him up.
Oh yeah.
I slapped him around every day.
Yeah, he would stop.
Ain't no different, you know. Right? Just stop you and they got those bodies.
Time will heal, Harley. Time will heal. Don't worry.
Yo, Kelly, I'm a midget, Kelly. You about to make it?
It's okay. Yes.
It's okay, Harley. It's okay. You'll find a way. You'll find a way. I feel, you know, Harley here went through some big loss. He lost one in Wakanda.
Boycotted the ass. I keep telling you.
Good dot. Good dot.
There's no nigga to music. No music at all.
But I mean,